Welcome to the Page by Page Book Club. I'm your host, Paige Imprint, and I bring you weekly book club meetings wherever you get your podcasts. It's another month, y'all, and I genuinely do not know how we are on our third monthly reading wrap-up, but here we are, and it's happening. This month is a little bit weird if you're listening on release day. If I waited till next week, we'd be like 6 days into the month. I don't think y'all care about the specifics all too much, but I'm going to keep moving. There are two major factors here that are quite honestly going to make this episode a little bit shorter than usual, I think. Now, I say that. And one thing about me is I love to yap, and you know that. You know that. So we'll see which way the wind blows on this. But the first reason that this is going to be shorter is because it's happening earlier in the month, right? Like, I don't exactly know what all I'm going to be able to get done in the next few days, but I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be great. This month is my, the word that's coming to mind is worst, and that is not the way I want to frame it. So this is my lightest reading month since I started reading as an adult back in July of 2023. There have been a lot of factors that have led to this month being a lighter month. So I figured we could start the episode with some like life update stuff, and then we move into the recap, and I hope that's okay. And if you are like, please God, no, when I say that, just skip ahead. So here's the deal. I am working a lot, which I feel like is not going to come as much of a surprise to many of you. But for those of you who do not know, I work a 9 to 5. Really, it's an 8 to 5. And then I do Page and Print, the social media creator. And then I do my podcast, which you are listening to right now. Thank you for listening. And then I run author services business, which is like my dream job. I'm living the dream, like literally living the dream. But that has resulted in 80-hour work weeks, which that's okay. Everything's fine. But my author services business in the past 30 days has over doubled, which is unreal, incredible, unbelievable. Thank you to all of my clients. I'm literally doing my dream job. But with that being said, notice I didn't list reading as part of those 80 hours because it is not. Unless I'm reading for an author, which I very rarely do, I am really struggling to find time to read. And it breaks my heart. It does. Like, every time I get the chance to read, I'm like, my gosh, I love this. I love this so much. And so it does give me a reminder of why I do what I do, and why I'm so passionate about this, and why I am chasing my dreams like this. So who knows which way the wind will blow? Who knows what things will change over the course of the next few weeks? But I'm hoping that there will be some adjustments, some things going on behind the scenes that will result in me being able to read more again. Because that's what this is about. I am so passionate about being a reader. But being a reader and being a bookish content creator are not the same. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but it's like being a bookish content creator. Content creation takes away from the time that you would be spending reading, you know? And so anyway, you get it. That is the main reason that reading has been slim. Oh, look, I've already been recording for... She said it was going to be short. Okay. So the time commitment to these really two full-time jobs on top of, teaching cycling and being a wife, and being a daughter, and having a social life, or trying to, that is. And there's all of the things have made reading difficult this month. Okay. You get it. I've said enough. Now, the other thing that has kind of like changed my schedule a little bit is weekends have been my reading time. But just yesterday, I got back from, not to be dramatic, a life-changing weekend. I said to someone today at work, I think this past weekend was the most fun I've had in my adult life since my own wedding weekend. Yeah, it was that good. Yes, it was life-changing. This past weekend, I went on a retreat with the Bubbly Bookshelf. # not sponsored. I just loved it that much. It was a book retreat hosted by the Bubbly Bookshelf, owned by Torianne Harris. You can find her on Bookstory at Book Talk. And it was a group of, I think, 17 of us, maybe, all readers. It was a book retreat. Some were bookish content creators, some were authors, some were just like readers. And we all came together in Knoxville, Tennessee at a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lake home and yapped about books. I got in last Wednesday night and I left yesterday morning, Sunday morning. I know I'm cutting it down to the wire on this episode. And it was the most fun, incredible, amazing trip. And it was the people, dude. Like, making friends as an adult is so hard. It is so hard. And to show up in a room with 15 plus other women, and to have just like a baseline similar interest of romance books. Like, chances are you have one book in common with every single girl in that room, like guaranteed. And the fact that it was just so beautiful. Like, I find myself talking about books a lot in my real life. It's my passion. It's what I love. And I really do sometimes struggle with, like, I can just tell other people in my life are like, that's great. We don't want to talk about books. And it's like, but this is my thing, you know? And so to spend days and days and days with other people, other women who just feel the same was it was beautiful. And then, I know I said it was like, I was just being dramatic, but it was life-changing. Like, I haven't had that much fun. I haven't been that inspired. I haven't felt that seen by like a large group in maybe forever, maybe ever. Yeah. And so, it was beautiful. I loved it. But weekends are usually my reading time. And yes, it was a book retreat. And actually, a lot of the girls read like a lot. And most of them were moms, which I loved because just getting to watch them relax and read, it was so good. I was so happy for them. But yeah, I did not. I was just, you know me, I was going to yap with the girls. So I did. Some just incredible friendships came out of that. But yes, so not very much reading time. And then this month is just short. 30 days have September, April, June, and November, and this is April, so I'm missing a day. But one day really shouldn't make that big of a difference with reading, but here we are. With that being said, I think we've established that this month was going to be on the slimmer picking side for my reading, and it was still an incredible month. I had a lovely time. So I read I'm counting. Never forget, this podcast is off the top of the dome. No notes, just winging it on a hope and a prayer. Okay. Actually, morale is up. Hold on a minute. It looks like I'm going to finish 8 books by the end of the month. Now we're cooking. Okay. I thought it was going to be a lot. Like, no. So that's fine. Now, 2 books that I thought I was going to finish in March, I actually ended up finishing in April, and that's what I get for assuming. So we'll start with those, and then we will move forward into the month, per usual. Okay. I listened to Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, the final installment of the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I can't believe that world is coming to an end. Like, I really can't. Y'all know how I feel about a second chance dual timeline romance. I eat them up. Okay? They're so good. And Dusty was such a unique MMC in particular. He's a cowboy, but he's also like, I don't even know how to describe him because I feel like he is catered towards the female gaze. Like, he's not rough and gruff. He's blonde. He has a nose piercing. He's super tatted up. His hair's like kind of shoulder length. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to be your Dante Russo, your King of Wrath Dante Russo. Like, Lila in the prep for this book release talked a lot about like him whimpering. In case I wasn't clear with that word because I was laughing. Whimpering. Yeah, whimpering. That's accurate. Yeah. He was down bad. And the second chance of it all was really, really great. Rebel Blue Ranch is just like good quick, but still like the third acts are pretty conflict heavy romance books. So I wouldn't necessarily call them fluffy due to the like nature of their third acts, but I do think that they are great cowboy romances. So loved. That was Wild and Wrangled. Next, I read In Good Company by Kat Singleton. This was a private chef billionaire romance. So he's the billionaire, she's his private chef in the Hamptons. First installment of a brand new series from Kat Singleton. Fun. Because I eat Private Chef in the Hamptons TikToks up in the summer. It's almost Private Chef in the Hamptons time. Like we're coming up on that time. And I just love this story. And it's ex's brother, which Kat crushes every time. This is the second time. She crushed it again. And yeah, I do love a billionaire moment. And a billionaire moment when he spends his money. Because it's like, what is the point of a billionaire? If not to spend money on you. And I'm sick and tired. Sick and tired of these alleged billionaires with a B not spending their money in their books obnoxiously. And I felt this book did that well. And she let him because, oh, dude, heaven forbid it's a billionaire romance. And she's like, no, I don't want, nope, give me the card. Give me the credit card. What do you mean, no? What do you mean I'll buy it myself? I will take that credit card from you. Thank you very much. Have a nice life. Like, what? Let the billionaires in books spend their money. Is it too much for a girl to ask? Oh, I'm begging. So, all this to say, In Good Company, she did let him buy her things, and I loved that. You know I loved it. Okay, straight out of In Good Company, I read Bull Rush by Maggie Rowden. And what a ride. Okay, I'm going to tell you the premise of this book, and you're going to say, excuse me? But like kind of in the best way. Like the amount of things that are going on and going on so well, I was like, get into it, Maggie. Like, yeah, okay. So, where do I even begin? Ex-convict. Okay? No, I feel reverse back even more. Sorry. Like, there's so much to share with you about the premise of this book. They are divorced. Okay? MMC, FMC, divorced. He goes to prison because he killed a man, okay? But it was self-defense or defense of his friends. It's a whole thing. He wasn't in there very long, but he gets out. And in the process of being, I don't know enough about prison, I fear. Checked out? Removed? Released? There it is. Released from prison? Come to find out, their divorce filing never went through. She finds this out the same week as she is applying for a loan to save the ranch and inn that she runs. Yeah, so they find out they're still married, but she's engaged to someone else. And Ramsey, the MMC, returns to the inn and the ranch. Okay. He's like, look, I will grant you the divorce uncontested with $1 million check if for the next, I can't remember, 60 to 90 days, you're my wife. And like by my wife, I mean my wife. The house, the bed, everything. You get what I'm saying? My mom listens to this, so you get what I'm saying. Yeah, and so first of all, she and her fiance agreed to it. Her fiance agreeing to it is like a point of contention, of course, because why would you ever let your fiance do that? Like they fall for each other again. Okay, but it's also a romantic suspense. He's also a former NFL player. He's also a cowboy. Okay? And that's what I mean by there's a lot going on, but in the best way. Like there's so many elements. Side quest here. I just want to say, I feel like as of late, people have been saying, and I am not complaining, that I'm a cowboy romance girl. And I am not stopping you from saying that. I stand by that. I hold my head high and proud as a cowboy romance girl. But I do want to say, I do know that not all these guys are technically cowboys. Meaning like working with cattle. Like, I do want to say I recognize that. I don't know. I felt that was important to my brand. Maybe like a Western gentleman is a better way to put it, because not all Western guys are like legitimate cattle herding boys, cowboys. Some of them work with horses. Some of them just work on a ranch. So, like, I get it. Okay, I get it. I had to clarify that for the brand image, but I stand by that I love them. Continuing on, Bulrush, Maggie Rowden. Loved it. It was fun. The audio was great. Oh, and yes, the reason I'm saying all this, MMC in that book, his accent, the narrator, let's give the narrator a shout out. Yes, let's look. Aiden Snow, I believe.
Her brow furrows for a moment and then releases in surprise before she shakes her head.
That was a little sneak peek for the people. Yeah, it's Aiden Snow. He really did a phenomenal job. Elena Wolf did too, as the FMC is performed in duet. But yeah, his accent was really great. A little romantic suspense action. And I'm really looking forward to diving into the next story in that series. After Bulrush, I listened to Just Say Yes by Lena Hendricks. This is the 5th and final installment of the King's Family series, and I am pretty emotional about it. I'm a little emotional. There are 2 series set in Out of Towner, if you don't know. The small fictional town called Out of Towner, Michigan. The Sullivan Family series and the King Family series. And it's about 2 rebel families in this small town. Spoiler alert, I guess. Spoiler alert. You can skip forward if you want to, like, go in absolutely blind, but I don't think this is a crazy spoiler. And they're rivals, and then in the last book of the Sullivan Family series, one of the Sullivan boys marries a king girl, and it's a big drama because they're rival families. And then the next series is the King Family series. Then in the King series, you kind of unpack and unravel this rivalry, and they become friends in the end. It's beautiful. So anyway, this is the 9th installment set in this small town, and the final installment of the King's Family series. And I just cannot believe, after all of these stories, thousands of pages of these characters, it's over. Like, it's making me emotional. So yes, I loved it. It is a rugby romance. He's a rugby player, and like rugby is involved. Like sometimes some sports romances are like, yeah, they're a football player, but like football's like, he might as well be a lawyer. Like it's just like his day job that he goes to and you never hear about it. Like we did get rugby moments, which I really thought was fun. And it was just such a like different spin on sports romance, a different spin on small town romance. I feel like Lena captured a depth to these characters that I hadn't experienced in a while. I felt a really, really great balance between knowing him and his motivations and his intentions, and knowing her motivations and her intentions, while also still having a sense of secrecy or mystery to what the other was feeling, especially in their respective POV chapters. Like that's kind of a downfall of the first person dual POV, is like you don't have that mystery of like wondering. You don't have the like curiosity of like, what does he really think? Like, why is he doing that? Like, credit to Tori Ann on this, because we were talking about this weekend, but it's like, if he's mean to her and then the next chapter just explains it away, it's like kind of less interesting than like having to earn, like you, the reader, are having to have his trust earned. Like it's really, really interesting. Like, so yeah. But I feel like this book did a good job of, the chapters were a good length where you were kind of like wondering what the other was thinking and doing. And honestly, it like wasn't explained away immediately in the next chapter. It was almost like required inference. Like you had to infer their intentions. I really thought it was like just good writing from Lena. So loved that. It is an interconnected standalone, so you can jump in wherever you may like. So fun, fresh. Up next, I finished Destined by Kay Knightley. Loved this. Oh, I have been dying to read this book. Like there's footage of me back in October dying to read this book. Like around release time. Like I've been wanting to read this book since it debuted, and I have simply not been able to find the time. It sounds ridiculous, but I have been, what a blessing, let me start by saying, but I've been back to back to back to back on arcs probably since October, to the point where it was near impossible to read anything outside of arcs. And so I am taking a step back from arc reading. I'll do advanced listener copies, but aside from like some permanent teams that I'm on, I think I am taking a step back from arc reading. So little side note about that, but it's just gotten to be too much. So I'm so glad I got to read this. It is a small town, slow burn, romantic suspense. It is perfection. And what was so unique and different about this book is that we got Millie our FMC, Emmett our MMC, and we got chapters from Redacted. Redacted was the bad guy. A few chapters sprinkled in, getting the POV of this unsub, and it was just such a unique take on the romantic suspense genre. This book to me is for the girls who love Criminal Minds. The only difference is like Criminal Minds, you know who the bad guy is from the jump. We did not know who it was. Well, you could assume, actually. You could I think it's kind of set up that way where it's like it wants to keep you on your toes, it wants to keep you wondering, but you can also kind of deduce who it may be. But yes, I loved it. I thought it was really, really well done, slow burn. I'm trying to think, and this might be untrue, but I feel like I haven't read a true slow burn like this in quite a while. Like, I'm talking like 70% slow burn. Yeah. And I ate it up. The tension was pulled so taut by the time that it snapped. And that's the thing about a slow burn. It's like when it is done well, when the tension is high and like palpable, sometimes slow burn's better. Like, wow, wow, wow. So she is moving to this small town across the country after a very unfortunate turn of events in her hometown in Tennessee. And on her way into town, her car breaks down. She kind of has a interesting run-in with the town sheriff, our MMC, and they kind of get off to a rocky start. She ultimately becomes friends with his sisters. She didn't realize it was his sisters, but becomes friends with them. There's an element of forced proximity through her friendship with them to him. So like, it's very good. They're also neighbors. He's also very protective of her because she's being stalked. So it's like dislike to love to like friends to lovers, and there's time for that in the slow burn. That too, yes. So it's not only dislike to love, it's dislike to friends to lovers, and there was time for that, and none of it felt rushed. The cadence was really good. So Kay Knightley, I don't know if you would be listening to this or not, but if you are, kudos to you, dude. Like, the timing, and this was her debut from my understanding, and the timing felt great. Like, the pacing of this book, man, loved it. Very unique reading experience, especially as a chronic romantic suspense reader. This is like going on my 70th romantic suspense I've read. This was up there for me. It was great, and I'm very much so looking forward to the next book coming out later this year. I believe she's pushing the release date back to August or September, and I am very much so looking forward to that. So cheers to you, Kay Knightley. Oh, let's talk about it. I then listened to Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. My verdict? I loved it. You can call it what you want. You can call it women's fiction. You can call it romance. I'm going to call it great. It was an experience, frankly. Like, it was not your standard romance. It was not your standard women's fiction. It was something entirely its own. And I knew that going in. I'd seen the early reviews. I knew people didn't feel it was exclusively a romance, nor was it exclusively women's fiction. So I went in, I think, with a good mindset of just like, let's enjoy this. Mind you, this is my first Emily Henry book. And I know everyone's like, oh my God, you have to. I know, I'm going to. I'm going on vacation mid-May, and I'm going to read at least beach read, okay? I will read more Emily Henry. I really just love this book. And here's the deal. There's one of the criticisms I've seen of this book is that it was a little too, like, they fell for each other too quickly. Not insta-love, because the book takes place really over the course of a month. And so people are like, the fact that they're feeling this strongly for each other in the span of a month feels a little unrealistic. And to that I say, and this is a hot take, and I understand that, but just because it didn't happen or hasn't happened to you doesn't mean it's impossible. And I know that that's kind of a hot take, but like finishing this book was a very emotional experience for me because I really, really related to the gravity that the MMC and FMC felt for each other. Like, I felt very seen by the end of this book through the romance portion. It's like, what a blessing to be seen in a book. I say that every time, but it's true. Like, it is a privilege to be seen and feel understood through words on paper. Not everyone gets to experience that, and for that, I am grateful. I met my husband on a Monday. We met on Bumble. We had dinner on a Monday. We matched Saturday, date Monday. On that date, I just knew he was it. And I know that sounds ridiculous. And I am a romantic at heart, and I fall hard and I fall fast, and that's who I am. I didn't love him on that first date, but I just knew. I felt at home because I am whole without him. I am a whole person without him. I am capable without him. I do not need him. I want him. And when I met him, maybe it's like my gravity centered. Like, I just knew I was home. I just knew. And then our second date was Wednesday. Mind you, this is mid-pandemic. Everything shut down. So our next date is actually at my parents' house. There's literally no other option. I was living there at the time. They have a pool. So he came over. We did a pool day. We spent 10 hours together that day. And from then on, he's been mine. And maybe a month after that, 6 weeks max, I knew I loved him. Like, so I say all that to say, just because it's not someone's lived experience doesn't mean it's impossible. I feel as though I knew my husband was the one. I feel as though I loved my husband in that short of a period of time. So, I don't know. That's kind of my rebuttal to that particular element of criticism of Great Big Beautiful Life. And I don't think that's the only criticism or even the largest criticism. I do want to remain aware of that, and I get that. That's why I was so emotional at the end. But I felt the memoir aspect of this book was great. If you don't know, this book follows two authors competing to write a aging socialite's memoir, essentially. There's a huge mystery element, big rivals element, true grumpy sunshine. Like, it's not going to be for everyone. And not every book is for everyone. And that's okay. It's okay. Not everything's for everyone. If it was, I'd be concerned. So, if it's not for you, that's okay. We move on. It's all good. So, we can like different things and still be friends. Okay, so those are the books I have read up until this point, which is 6. I am going to finish 2 more by the end of this month. The one I'm finishing tonight is Revenge of the Forgotten by Danny Crooks. What a fascinating concept for a book. Revenge of the Forgotten is, let me read you the first few lines of the synopsis. She's cursed to forget. He remembers everything. She is cursed by her own sister who has taken over this world that they live in to essentially die over and over and live these lives on Earth over and over. They're short, she's showing up on Earth around college age and then leaving shortly after, but she doesn't remember anything, and all of her friends are looking for her, and there's a rebellion in her world, but she can't remember, and they're rebelling against her sister who took over very, very forcefully. It is, I'm doing such a poor job at explaining this, but it is fascinating. And it is true lovers to enemies to lovers, because he has never forgotten any of this, but he is also the commander of the army underneath her sister, and the tension, unreal. He remembers her. She can't remember him. She starts remembering him. They're dreaming of each other. Chef's kiss, y'all. This is such a unique fantasy system as well. It's based off the Roman gods, not the Greek gods, and I've been loving that element. I love history. My minor is in history from my college degree. What's up? And so just really loving this story from Danny. And let's face it, MMC, swoony dude. Morley Gray, absolute grump. So swoony. Loved it. I'm loving it. So I'm finishing that up tonight as I'm recording this. Mind you, I'm recording this so late at night. But oh my gosh. But I have to finish this book. I'm just dying to know how it ends. So that's what I'm going to be doing after this, even though it is so late when I'm recording this. Then, okay, speaking of romantasy, I never have two romantices going on at once, but I'm so obsessed with both of these, I literally don't have a choice. I am listening to an advanced listener copy of Shield of Sparrows by Devony Perry. Oh my God. This book, I'm going to say fighting words. This is quickly becoming my favorite romantasy of all time. Fighting words. Because Shield of Sparrows by Devony Perry is all of the elements that you want and need from a romantasy. And this is Devony's first romantasy. And she has said it herself. It is a romance-forward book. Point blank, period. She's a romance author. Romance is at the forefront. And boy, is it slow burn. Enemies to lovers. Tension. I don't want to spoil anything else. The reading experience going in blind is phenomenal. I'm just at 50% right now. I have 9 hours and 36 minutes left. And this book is blowing me out of the water. If I wasn't eating up Revenge of the Forgotten on my Kindle, I'd be immersive reading this because I'm loving Revenge of the Forgotten. And as soon as I finish that tonight, I'm going to be moving to immersive on Shield of Sparrows. I want to tell you more, but I cannot, other than you're going to have to trust me because I do not want to spoil this for you. To me, it is the romantasy genre at its finest, and it is coming out on May 6th. It is a must read. The audio narrated by Samantha Brentmore and Jason Clark. It is Samantha Brentmore until a Xaden-esque chapter at the end, think Fourth Wing from Jason Clark. And the performance here is phenomenal. So Samantha, cheers to you on that. Yeah. Shield of Sparrows, Devony Perry. I'm locking it in as a top romantasy of all time. It'll likely be a top read of my year. It is sucking me in a way I can't quite even explain. There's magic in this book. That's the only explanation I can give you. There is something otherworldly and magical about this book. So, Shield of Sparrows, May 6th, Devony Perry's debut romantasy, and it is unforgettable. So, that is my reading month wrapped. And going into May, at the moment, I do not have any arcs on the table. I don't think. Which I know y'all are probably laughing at me. But look, I'm just a girl. And I'm doing my best to remember all the things. But sometimes it is hard, okay? So yes, some releases coming up in May. Shield of Sparrows on May 6th. Also on May 6th, Riding the High by Paisley Hope. Third installment of the Silver Pine series. I am diving into that one. On audio. It is a Secret Friends, Single Dad, Cowboy. He's also the sheriff. Banter, all that good stuff. I'm really, really excited for that from Paisley Hope. And then 2 more that I'll touch on because they're just big anticipated releases for me. I do have a video up now of a more extensive list. These 2 I know for a fact I'll be reading next month. Rewind It Back, the not so final installment of the Windy City series by Liz Tomfordy. It is Rio's story. I'm so excited. It's a little friends to enemies to lovers, neighbors for a second time because they were neighbors as children and now they're neighbors again. I am so excited to return to Liz's world. I had the most unbelievable opportunity to advance read, play along back in July of last year. And I've just been counting down the moments until this one released. So very excited about that. And then the ever-awaited Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, the 6th installment of the Boys of Tommen series. This release was so unexpected. This release is going to break me, I fear. There are some tropes that I am weary of in this book that I am just going to have to get over. And as always, this will be of no fault to Chloe. Y'all know I struggle with the love triangle and I struggle with cheating. And it hasn't been confirmed nor denied that that's what's going to be happening. But it is Lizzie and Huey's story. And Huey's in a relationship as far as we know. So that's what's making me a little nervous. But 2 sides to every story. We have not gotten a peek behind their curtain at all. So I'm very hopeful and excited for this story. With that being said, those are the things that are kind of coming up. I know I said I was going to try to keep this pretty short, and I think I did get this a little bit shorter than usual. I kept myself from going on quite a few tangents. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. But this month felt a little more overwhelming, and there are lots and lots and lots of updates, honestly, to come very, very soon. So please keep an eye out. It's very exciting. My camera's gonna die, so I think I'm gonna have to leave like literally right now. I'm so sorry, but thank you as always for spending your time with me. Really rushed, finished, and I'll see you in the next one.